The goal of this video is to take all the lessons I've learned from posting over 1,000 beats, getting over 43 million YouTube views, and putting in probably over 10,000 hours of work, and share them with you guys, and hopefully you guys can learn from my experience in a way that helps you out with your own beats and music. I'm going to be talking about beats specifically here, but I bet a lot of these lessons can be applied to any creative pursuit in general. Lesson number 1, the music that makes people feel something wins. It's not about cooking up 35 beats a day, it's about finding a way to come up with something great that resonates with people, and then doing it as consistently as you possibly can. Every single day there's more than 60,000 songs uploaded to Spotify. This means it's not a numbers game. If you come at it strictly from a numbers perspective and you're just cranking out random ideas, that's like playing the lotto and the odds are not in your favor. Think about how you listen to music. Do you listen to trash songs more than once? Probably not. Do you listen to songs that are average more than once? Probably not. Think about your favorite artists. Do you listen to them because they're alright, or are they unique and special and they make you feel a certain way? The music that's gonna rise to the top and stick around is gonna be the music that makes people feel something, inspires them, gives them energy, and people connect with it on an emotional level. This is exactly what I'm going for with my music. I'm not gonna hit it every time. I'm definitely gonna have a few misses, but this is my goal with everything that I put out. Let's go and listen to one of my top performing beats and one of my lowest performing beats, and let's see the difference. This is one of my top performing beats, it's got over 1.1 million views. Let's listen.
Got it bumping.
I mean, to me, that's clear. Like, it has a feeling, it has energy to it. It like gets you hyped. It makes a person feel like they can do something, you know? Like, you just feel it like that. This is one of my worst performing beats. Let's see the difference. I mean, it's not horrible, like it doesn't make you cringe. To me, it just kind of feels like hollow and empty. Like if I were to ask myself how I feel about it, it would just be meh. What I should have done is just been more patient and picked a different idea, something that made me feel something stronger and had more emotion to it. Lesson number 2, the initial idea is more important than the execution. Technical skill is probably not what's holding you back from making great beats that impact people. Let's go listen to one of my first beats as an example. This is the oldest beat on my channel. Let's give it a listen. I do love that sample. Like, it's not like the cleanest mix and not the most technically advanced. I'm pretty sure the 808's out of key, but it has that emotion to it. That's why, like, you can see this response. Like, your beats are actually insane. Back then, your beats were also fire. Well, that's nice. Look it, got that feeling. Yeah, that's that. Even though from a technical perspective, I sucked here, the idea made people feel something and they connected with it. That's why people responded to it and it got views and sales. It had soul and it resonated with people. The beat has to make people feel something. It has to inspire them. And you can do that even if you're not the most technically advanced. For example, Kanye's best-selling album is The College Dropout, and he's gotten much more advanced musically since then, but that album really connected with people. A lot of it really just comes down to actually caring about making something great that resonates with people, and then being willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. Lesson number 3. You have to actually care about making beats to make great beats. There's been times where I've been burnt out and just making beats because it's my job, and nothing good ever comes of that. If you're not truly passionate about making great beats, then you won't make great beats. How bad I actually want to make great beats is directly reflected in my views and sales. There was a time when I was absolutely obsessed with making the craziest beat that made people feel something every single upload, and that's when I was getting the most views and the best response. Then there's been times when I was either too caught up in the numbers or I just got in a rut, and I was just uploading because that's what I felt like I had to do to get views and sales. A lot of times I don't think you know when you slip into a rut. You just kind of get into a routine and start uploading because that's just what you do, and you're not trying to make something truly amazing every single time. It's really important to hold yourself to a high standard and to find a way to be passionate about making great beats each and every time. To succeed at a high level, I believe you need to be making beats for the right reasons. I don't believe you're going to be at your best when you're uploading to get something out of it. You need to do it because you just want to make the best beats possible and you want to connect with people and make them feel something. If you're truly going all out every single day to make something great that resonates with people, I actually think it's more likely that you'll get a lot of views and sales as a byproduct. There's also nothing wrong with enjoying views and sales, but that can't be the all-consuming number one reason why you're doing everything, because you'll burn out quickly. I think the person that truly cares the most about the actual thing that they're doing is the person who's most likely to win. They're going to be putting in the most work and have the most endurance regardless of the outcome just because they love it the most. They naturally just want to do it all the time and end up putting in the most effort. And most likely, if you put in the most time and effort and truly care about making something that impacts people, eventually you're going to make something great. Lesson number 4. Distrust your instincts. Making beats is fun, especially if you're playing things live. It's really easy to get excited about an idea just because you made it. You have to be skeptical of this feeling. While it's fun to do this if you're making beats as a hobby, it can be dangerous if you want to do this as a career. It's very easy to get excited about a new technique that you just learned, but that can cause you to lose sight of what's important and you start prioritizing things that don't have an impact on the listener. I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn more technical stuff. I think you should learn as much as possible. I think you just have to keep it in perspective. The person on the other side listening to what you created does not care that you soloed in the Hungarian minor scale over an altered dominant ninth chord, no matter how excited you might be about it. Lesson number 5, embrace honest feedback and put your ideas to the test. It's tempting to assume what you've done is good enough and to just check it off your to-do list, but you'll get better results if you have the self-discipline and take the time to really put your ideas to the test. You need to have the confidence to put your work out into the world to be judged, but it's important to have the humility to ask yourself, is what I'm making actually good? Instead of assuming everything you touch is amazing. I've heard in interviews that Kanye's actually asked the pizza delivery guy if a song is dope, because he's trying to see how people respond to it and find out if what he's doing is great or not. I think by the time he puts out an album, he's gotten so many opinions, put in so much work, and has stress tested his ideas enough that he's just naturally that confident in his work. Even Drake says he's too insecure to put out music without seeing what people think of it first. I think being skeptical of your own ideas and putting them to the test and seeking honest and harsh feedback is so important for improvement. The way I'll do this is I'll listen to samples and ideas for hours, like 4 to 8 uninterrupted hours, and I'll want to flip one so bad, but I know I have to have the self-discipline to hold off and to listen to more ideas. And then I'll save what I think are the best ideas into a folder or a playlist, and then revisit them and really come at them from a skeptical point of view. I'll just ask myself, is this good enough? Is this the best that I can do? Is this the best idea that I can choose out of basically unlimited options that I have? And then when I can't stay away from one idea, and I keep thinking about it and I keep coming back to it, then I run with it and I see where I can take it. Then after that, I'll go through my phone and I'll send it to all my artists and producer friends and anyone I know that likes hip hop and has decent taste in music. And then when I send, I'm seeking critical feedback and I'm asking them to be 100% real with me. And I tell them that it won't hurt my feelings if they think it's mid or trash, even though it might a little, but I always bounce back quick. All I'm trying to do here is get to the truth of whether I'm working with a good idea or not. I may think what I made was the best beat ever, but unfortunately my opinion isn't what counts. I don't buy my own beats. I can't listen to my stuff millions of times. If I want to continue to do this as a career, then what other people think of my stuff matters. Know what to listen to and what not to listen to. You need to qualify the people that you ask for feedback. Some people may not like the style of music you make and they won't like anything. Some people are going to say everything is fire and just gas you up. Over time, you'll figure out who's who and whose opinions you can trust. A lot of people, even successful people, will just say trust your gut and believe in yourself, which I think you need to have an absolutely insane level of self-belief in the big picture no matter what other people say. But on the micro level, I think it's important to question yourself and do your best to find out if you're making something great or not. It's important to know how to read feedback. I know I have something if I get a ton of enthusiastic responses. If my phone starts blowing up with fire emojis, I know I'm onto something. If people respond with, that's pretty cool, or maybe they suggest something like, something's off, maybe you should try EQing the snare, most likely the snare isn't the problem and the idea just kind of sucks. And they're just trying to be helpful and suggest any way they can to make it better. At this point, the best thing to do is to go back to the drawing board. There's a saying I've heard that says, when someone says something's wrong with your product, they're almost always right, but when they try to explain why or how to fix it, they're almost always wrong. From my experience, this feels very true. As the person creating the thing, it's your job and responsibility to have the vision and to come up with ideas and solutions. And if people aren't responding to your ideas, then try something new. And just stay at it until something clicks. Getting feedback like this from people can be emotionally difficult, but if you can put your ego to the side and get continuous, honest, and potentially harsh feedback, it will for sure accelerate your growth. Stay away from the perfectionist trap. It's easy to adopt this strategy and then say nothing's ever good enough. That's not effective. Eventually you have to put something out. And if you're trying to make a living off this, it should probably be sooner rather than later. That's why you need a release schedule. And you have to stick to it no matter what. There's no such thing as perfection, only evolution. Just go all in on making something great every single day and stick to your release schedule. And if it doesn't hit, it sucks, but it's okay. Just try to figure out what you did wrong and then move on to the next one. Lesson number 6. Your music needs to do something for other people. Kanye makes you believe in yourself, Drake makes you feel cool, early J. Cole makes you want to chase your dreams, and then recent J. Cole makes you focus on what's important in life and not the material things. All these guys do something for people with their music, and I believe that's a big reason why they're so successful. People almost need to use you in a way. This may sound harsh, but people who've never met you don't care about you or your music. Your stuff has to do something for them. I think asking yourself the question, how can people selfishly use my music, will really put you in the right mindset. For me, I'm trying to have people use my music to uplift them, give them an optimistic view on life, inspire them, or just give them energy and get them hyped. If I'm successful in making my music usable in any of these ways, then good things will happen. Lesson number 7, steal a feeling, don't copy exact ideas. Everyone is inspired by someone or something. It's incredibly helpful to study and break down music that you're a fan of, but it's important that you don't just straight up copy and become a knockoff knockoff version of that style. There's no point in remaking a beat that you love, but doing it a little worse, because people can just go and listen to the original better version. But what you can do is take bits and pieces from different songs that you love, and they can add up to something entirely new. What you want to do is take the feeling, but don't just steal the ideas. So I'm going to show you guys an example of how to use inspiration and take a feeling and come up with something entirely new. This is one of my favorite beats that I've ever made, and the sample is crazy. So there's 4 elements in there that I really like that I'm gonna try to borrow to take the feeling. 1 is the high energy vocal that hits on the 1. 2 is the use of minor 7th chords. 3, it's a unique chord rhythm that hit kind of a quarter note before. Don't just hit on like the 1, the 2, the 3. And then I also love the choir that hits on the 3rd chord. And I take all those elements by themselves and put together and come up with something entirely new. And in my opinion, I don't think you would have ever known that that was inspired by that unless I put them in the software side by side at the same tempo to show you guys. Lesson number 8, learn how to take an L and bounce back. It sucks, we don't want it to happen, but it's gonna happen from time to time. Sometimes what you put out is just not it. And that can suck and be embarrassing, especially if you put a lot of work into something. But the better you can get at just publicly taking the L, not letting it derail you, and bouncing back, the better you're gonna be in the long run. Taking an L and bouncing back is absolutely a skill that you can get better at. So I think it's actually good if it hurts you a little, because that just means that you care. But you don't want it to be destructive and discourage you to the point where it's unproductive and it slows you down. For example, I put a ton of work into an idea and a new thumbnail style. I thought it was so fire. I even got opinions from other people and I got a very positive response, and it was a complete flop. I was in a bad mood and a bit discouraged for about 45 minutes the other morning, but then I just realized that that was unproductive. I took a shot and I missed, and that's okay. I learned something and I'm gonna come back better. And if I just keep improving and keep caring about making great stuff, over time I can't lose. That's just how I feel. It's cliche, but I really think the quote, success is going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm, is totally true. You have to find ways to bounce back and stay optimistic, and you'll be much better off. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hopefully sharing my experience can help you out in some way. If you have any questions, ask me anything you want in the comments. I'll be responding to literally all of them. I'm not kidding. Make sure to like and subscribe, really helps out the channel. Thanks again. Peace.